in the Bilbao era, si Victor Pablo has not tasted 3 games na natatalo sila. In other words, losing streak is not their name. Samantala, si Dorian Peña, since nawala ang stars ng San Miguel, has not tasted a 4-game winning streak. Well, today, this just may happen sa paglalaban ng San Miguel Beermen at ng Talk and Text Phonepals. Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat, mga kaibigan. Welcome sa bayan ng Superstars mula sa Cuneta Astrodome. Ako po si Noli Yala, kasama of course ang inyong paborito si DJ Manotok. And DJ, what a game. Baliktad na ang mundo ng PBA. Noong araw, ang Talk and Text, panalo ng panalo. Ngayon, delikadong tatlong sunod na talo. They have not lost since the end of the 2001 season, and San Miguel naman has not won 4 games since the end of the Governor's Cup last year.
Well, exactly. You know, everybody's so surprised. Talking Text, one of the hottest teams in our first conference. They expected them to do even better here in the second conference because they got a better import. Ika nga, when they let go of their previous import. Pero so far, it's been the import, sorry for them, that consistency of their imports is what they're looking for. Uncut, the last game only had 14 points. Their new guy, Miguel, had 30 points but still could not bring that win for the Phonepals.
Miguel ba ang pronunciation? No?
Alam mo ko, paano ba?
Miguel yata.
Mikael?
Well, anyway, tingnan natin ang ating team standings.
Miguel.
Po, mga kaibigan, at makikita natin kung gaano kahalaga ito. San Miguel is actually the hottest team now after that loss ng Red Bull kanina laban sa Pure Foods. It was North and South dun sa laban na yon. And now, San Miguel and Talk and Text, well, mas importante ito for Talk and Text, ano, DJ?
Absolutely, because if Talk and Text loses this game, ang susunod pang kalaban nila ay delikado rin, Santa Lucia. If Selecta beats Alaska, nako, it's gonna be very, very interesting for that last slot because we are going to be eliminating 3 teams because we have 11 teams right now. 8 will go on to the quarterfinals.
So, tingnan natin ang mga last assignments ito dalawang koponan nito. Dito natin makikita kung saan na magiging pormahan patungo po sa pagtatapos ng elimination round. This is just around the corner. Yan, makikita natin ang laban ng Talk and Text sa San Miguel.
Exactly. So today, Talk and Text will play San Miguel. Their last game is against Alaska. Para naman sa San Miguel, they've got Talk and Text today and then Santa Lucia on the 11th. So ganun pa kadelikado itong mga huling laro nila, and we're down in the home stretch and it's going to be very interesting from here on in.
Alam mo, it has been a big turnaround for San Miguel, of course, with the entry of Art Long and Shay Seals. But on the other hand, the Talk and Text is looking for a turnaround themselves. And they've brought in a new guy. Well, he's been called Pistol Pete. Well, he certainly proved it in his last game, although natalo sila sa kanilang unang laban. Pete, ano ba to? Miguel, whatever it is. Well, he was just super in his first game, pero natalo sila against Red Bull.
I'll just be safe and call him Pete. And you know, this guy, first outing had 30 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. Obviously, the points were there. He scored much more than the average of Sidney Johnson, who had an average of only 20 points. So in terms of the point production, they got a better scoring import, but the victory was still not handed to them against one of the strongest teams, if not the strongest team right now in the PBA, itong batang Red Bull.
Alam mo kasi kung ihimayin mo ang Talk and Text Phonepals, marami ng kakulangan dito sa nangyayari kay Coach Bilbao. If you look at the local numbers, no one is scoring in double digits para sa Phonepals at the moment. The highest scoring local is actually Mark Telan, averaging about 9 points a game.
Absolutely, that is in stark contrast of how well they did in the elimination round in the first conference, wherein they always had Telan and Pablo averaging in double figures.
Exactly.
So that has been their missing link, that the consistency of their locals, it's not been there. The support has not been there all the time. And as we've been saying, this conference, of course, relies on your 2 imports. If you got 2 imports, you're fine. But if you've got the local support, you're even better.
Well, if you look at this lineup, actually, si Don Camaso at si Patrick Fran nagbalik sa
Bumalik
Talk and
pa,
Text Phonepals. Pero itong dalawang ito are actually averaging less than 4 points a game, and that is really something na medyo nakakatakot at sayang, nakakahinayang para sa koponan ng Talk and Text Phonepals. Don Camaso averaging 3 or less than a point, and Patrick Fran about 3 points a game. On the other hand, San Miguel has made a fantastic turnaround. Of course, hindi lamang dahil sa pagdating ni Art Long at saka ni Shay Seals, pero sa pagbabalik ng scoring ni Nick Velasco.
Grabe. Well, you're talking about a guy who, when he was rumored to be coming in the league, they were saying he was a 6'5", 6'6" powerhouse big man. Well, look at this big man today, folks. He's shooting 3-point shots. First 4 games in which they were 2-2, he only averaged 11 points. But his 3-point shooting was already there. He really picked it up. But his total field goal was still down at 32%. In the last 4 games where they've won 3 and they've lost only 1, he has scored 19 points in average. 14 out of 31 from 3-point land. That's almost 50%. 53% overall field goals, and his rebounding has still been consistent. And you know, I've been meaning to ask, I've been dying to ask Nick Velasco, what did you wish for last Christmas? I guess Santa Claus put a 3-point shot in your Christmas stocking.
Well, his Saint Nick, as we have given his
Mismo.
nickname. And obviously, medyo giningitan siya ngayon ng mga santo doon sa kalangitan. On the other hand, of course, the other guy who's been playing so well has been Dorian Peña para dito sa koponan na to.
Grabe, Dorian Peña has been a total surprise. First of all, he has lost about 15 to 20 pounds. Secondly, the confidence that he has gotten with the minutes that he's playing now without Danny Sigel, without Daniel Defonso. Grabe talaga yung kumpiyansa na binibigay sa kanya ni Coach Shot Duncanson. And of course, the luxury of having an Art Long by your side na hindi ka na masyado pinapansin ng big men ng depensa.
Quite interestingly, this is the place where Art Long blew his top. Well, the question is, will he check his temper today? The other interesting point about this game, ito po ang dalawang koponan na naglaban sa quarterfinals ng Governor's Cup last conference kung saan number 1 ang Token Dex, number 8 ang San Miguel, napasipat pa rin ang number 1 seed. So it is payback time kaya para sa Token Dex o pagpapatuloy ng winning streak ng San Miguel Beermen. It's game time sa bayan ng Superstars. The Beermen laban sa Phonepals sa ilang sandali.
Let's get down to
Beautiful
business.
Saturday early evening at kami po ay nagmumula sa Cuneta Astrodome dito sa lungsod ng Pasay. Kamusta po kayong lahat sa ating suki ng bayan ng Superstars. Laban po natin second game today, Saturday edition ng Samsung PBA Commissioner's Cup. Ang tagisan ng San Miguel Beermen at saka ng Token Dex Phonepals. Kita mo pasimula pa lang, banggaan na banggaan.
Para ma-warm up ka rin.
Ma-warm up.
Kung may warm up ka sa layup, warm up ka rin sa banggaan.
Hindi pa nauso yung batukan, ano?
Meron na ako nakita dati yung batok-batokan eh.
Sa high school, di ba? Pag ano, batukan na batukan. Bill Baino, who has not tasted a 3-game losing streak since taking over the Token Dex Phonepals this year, well, is in danger of that today. Samantalang, si Shot Duncanson, who has not tasted a 4-game winning streak, might just get it today. Sabi nga natin, ito pong dalawang ito, medyo meron ding konting unang pagtatagpo ng San Miguel at ng Token Dex. Ito ay pagkakataon para sa Token Dex makabawi. Dahil sila, ang San Miguel po ang nagpatalsik dito noong Commissioner's Cup. Bagamat number 1 ang Token Dex sa ranking. San Miguel went on, as we take a look at Shot Duncanson. I guess we know the story in the Governor's Cup. San Miguel went on to play Alaska, only to lose in Game 5. And we take a look at the starting lineup here for the two teams.
We're looking at para sa Token Dex Phonepals, si Timape, Dago, Uncut, Pablo, and Miguel. How do you pronounce that?
How do you pronounce that?
Miguel.
Miguel. We're very fortunate that we have debutant here.
Yeah, sitting very close to us. So we can have first-hand information of exactly how it is pronounced.
Pete Miguel. His name.
You know, with the braids and the headband last game, I couldn't distinguish them from the wide camera view. Kasi medyo malapat-lapat yung katawan niya eh.
Halos pareho. Ngayon nakabanda na itong si Uncut.
So that's how you can distinguish them.
Dun lang.
That's gonna make things easier.
Alam mo, itong Token Dex is probably the most explosive offensive duo.
Yes.
Pero again, parang ipinapakita na itong ligang ito na you cannot win by just using those two imports.
Correct. I mean, that's been the standard. I mean, looking at what happened in the last conference when Pure Foods won it all, they really had consistent local support from Roger Yap, from Kirby Raimundo, diba?
They did not have the explosiveness of Uncut and sino ba yung Uncut hitting a... Well, anyway, Uncut hitting a long-distance shot.
Yun, si Richie Fromm.
Brought to you by PLDT Budget Cards. 24 cents a minute. Ito na ang pinakamababang rate to the US, Hawaii, at Canada.
This is interesting. They're starting out Art Long with his first touch of the game way out in the perimeter against Uncut.
Dalawang beses na nakakashoot ito si Art Long. Ay, yan na naman si Uncut. Tatlong sunod naman si Gerald Uncut, and that was a No Fear Slam brought to you by No Fear Jeans USA. Face your fears, live your dreams. Alam mo, malaking test pa rin ito kay Uncut for him to prove himself against the big imports of the league. I mean, the last game when he had Julius Duoso all over his back, he only had 14 points. Now is another time to prove himself against one of the biggest monsters we have next to Nuoso, probably, itong si Art Long. Who doesn't smile much.
He doesn't like to smile. He's not a smiling kind of guy.
Here's Peña. Hammered inside. Still gets it up. Continues to pick up that ball. Velasco for three. Malakas. Art Long offensive rebound. Isinubo na lang.
6 points. Already para kay Art Long. All the points of San Miguel.
And all the points of Token Dex from Uncut.
Which makes me think, and now that you mention it, I don't ever remember seeing Art Long smile.
Wala, hindi. Sabi niya, I'm all business in the basketball court. He misses that one, although he was all business. Business was closed. Here's Miguel spinning, going up against Velasco, and that's an offensive foul. Oh, kitang-kita yun.
That already was a gorgeous spin to get away from the baseline, but alanganan siya dahil kaliwete siya. If he went up with his left, look at this spin. If he went up with his left, he would have been blocked right there by Velasco. So he had to adjust, go to his right, and that left hand, sometimes you have that habit of pushing off.
Long replay brought to you by PLDT Tele. Sulit ang direct line sa pag-asenso. So it's still a 7-6 count. Peña sa loob, wala. Labanan sa rebound, nakuha ni Pistol Pete. Tumatakbo si Gilbert Demape. Here's another thing about Talk and Text, TJ. Marami nagsasabi they're overloaded with guards. You've got Demape, you've got Belano, Patrick Fran,
pa.
Jerome Ejercito.
Wala na.
Wala na pala si Jerome
Ito sa trade
Ejercito.
for
That's
Belano.
right. But there's another guy. Let me see. Si Kenny
Evans.
Kenny Evans.
Apat, diba?
So it's
That's a lot.
Talagang sobre.
And they do get a bunch of minutes. Well, the thing is, nasanay kasi si Coach Bilbao with his original three guards, si Demape, si Evans, and Ejercito. Wala pa si Patrick Fran dun, and they were quite happy with that rotation already. Although Ejercito at that time was the one who saw very few minutes.
Well, actually ngayon ang numbers, konting-konti. Karamihan ng numero o minuto na napupunta kay Demape.
Correct. Rather than Patrick Fran.
Fran and Evans have been splitting a few minutes, about a dozen minutes. Tapos nandun yung konting sundot ni Belano na about 9 minutes a game.
Correct. I guess it's a matter of adjustment ba for Patrick Fran to get used to the system. And it's a matter of need. Depende kung anong kailangan niya. Kung kailangan niya na running point guard like Demape or a defensive point guard like Patrick Fran who can spot up on the wings.
Right. In the meantime, Victor Pablo with a good shot inside. Unang 20 puntos of a player other than Gerald Honeycutt. 9-6 ang ating talaan. This should be a high-scoring game.
I do expect that. I'm also expecting the intensity of a playoff game because, yun nga, sabi mo, for one, these two teams really need this game back, especially Talking Tex. At saka siyempre, payback time nga naman, di ba? Dahil San Miguel nga po nag-eliminate sa Talking Tex ng last conference.
Ito sa'yo, sabi ni Bill Baino. 5:57 remaining sa ating unang yugto. Muli po kami nagmumula sa Cuneta Astrodome. Noli Yala po kasama si TJ Manotok. At magsisimula na uli ang ating laro dito sa first quarter. Right now, ang ating score, lamang ang Talk and Text ng 3 puntos, 9-6. Inbound from the baseline. Boybits, binigay kay Shea Seals. Seals was simply super in their last game. There's a 3-second violation now the Art Long.
Yun ang itlog ng konti. He didn't realize that that pick and roll was developing quite slowly.
Shea Seals scored 26 points in 36 minutes. Laban sa FedEx. A game where Art Long hardly played. Played only 25 minutes.
But he was beleaguered with foul trouble.
Lago sa labas. Rebound. Tinalo ni Boybits Victoria. Si Honeycutt. 5.5 remaining. Pinasok sa loob. Art Long laban kay Honeycutt. Again, the power. Wala. Offensive rebound. Peña with the right hand. And that is the value of Dorian Peña.
Grabe. As we mentioned kanina, I mean, Art Long is the one that takes away the attention of the big man of the other team. And he gets to roam free under the paint, get those offensive boards or those drop passes.
Peña is averaging 13 points a game and 9.6 rebounds. As you see a long-distance shot here. Brought to you by PLDT Budget Cards. At 24 cents a minute, ito na ang pinakamababang rate to the US, Hawaii at Canada.
Looks like Honeycutt really does not like doesn't want to have a 3-game losing season and did not enjoy that 14-point game. Dahil he's very, very offensive-minded tonight.
Well, double digits na si Gerald Honeycutt. 10 points already. May foul. May pinito dito si referee Ilagan. First foul ni Elmer Lago. Here's Honeycutt in action, Honeycutt in action from long distance. And that slow-mo replay was brought to you by PLDT Telesulit. Ang direct line sa pag-asenso.
Pagmasdan natin kung gaano pa rin kagigil to sa opensa si Honeycutt. His conference and career high actually has been in this conference. 44 points po nagawa niya. And,
kailangan na kailangan eh. Although, I know, minsan sa dulo, okay, maganda yung simula mo eh, di ba?
Correct.
Pero sa dulo, kinakapos ito sa Honeycutt.
Exactly.
And that's, by that time, yung mga locals, nawawala na sa play.
That shows in his physical condition, whether tatagal ba siya ng 40 minutes?
Na ganong klaseng
40 quality minutes,
Oo,
diba?
na
You can
intense.
stay in the game for 40 minutes, but it's a matter of being consistent all throughout the game, being 100%.
Tap out there by the Talking Tex defense. They're up by 4. Alley-oop. Napulot ni Peña. Binalik kay Art Long. Smaller man on him. Laglag kay Peña. Mulin! That is a No Fear Slam brought to you by No Fear Jeans USA. Face your fears. Live your dreams.
Exactly what we were talking about earlier. The second option has already happened. Yung kanina, offensive rebound. Ngayon naman, drop pass from his buddy Art Long.
If he can just get his... Yun ang kaibahan lang ni Uncut. Now Art Long is getting his teammates involved.
Correct.
Pablo hits a jumper there. Sa kabilang panig, parang si Uncut, pag nakuha niya yung bola, you cannot expect the pass to be given to a local.
Well, it depends. No? Kasi for one thing, si Art Long always gets good position deep inside because he's so strong. He already bangs you deep and he gets good position deep close to the basket. Kaya pag nado-double na siya, all he has to do is jump and drop it. And he's so tall and so athletic. I think he's actually a higher leaper than Uncut, quite obviously. Aside from being probably an inch or two taller.
Bill Beno not liking that last call. It was a hand check foul laban kay Pete Michael. And that is the second foul. Or Lago is called for the foul.
Huh?
Lago?
Lago wasn't even there.
Lago was called for the foul.
Really? They didn't adjust it?
Paano? Oh, paano napunta kay Lago yun? Oh,
Ayun naman. No.
Mariano.
Baka hindi nakita yung senyas sa table. 3 ang nakita. 32
Ang layo ni
nakapase.
Lago Yun, tinawagan si Pete Michael. Hand check foul. Kaya hindi nagustuhan yun ni Bill Beno. At yun, nasa loob si Shea Seals. Shea Seals with his first 2 points of the game. 14 kontra 12. Lamang po ang Talking Tex ang dalawa. Sa labas, yan ang sinasabi natin. Pagka pulot ng bola, tira na
Well, sinusubukan kasi gawin ng Talking Tex na balik na rin ang mundo ng offense na. They're pulling Uncut out, making him take the outside shots, thus taking Art Long out of the paint.
Ayun.
So kumbaga, kung lumabas na ng gusto, may kumakat dyan. If they get some good screens and get some open cutters inside, they'll have an easier time of making those layups when Art Long is not there.
Ang sinasabi mo, deliberate yan ito sa ginagawa.
Sadya yan, tinataas talaga siya.
Okay.
Tapos si Miguel yung pinapamposte against Peña.
Well, it has worked so far para sa Talking Tex with Uncut delivering 10 points. Pero dun sa huling pagkakataon, may foul on the rebound play. And Nick Velasco back on the line.
That's always been the beauty of having somebody like Uncut who's really an inside-outside kind of guy. You know, he in any given situation like this, where you really want to pull out the opposing team's big man from their defensive set, he can just, camp out there in 3-point line and keep shooting all night.
High-low play. Nilabas ni Uncut. Which is the Dimape. 14 seconds sa kanilang shot clock. They look for Pablo. Pero tinatawuan ni Velasco. Outside shot by the lefty. Wala.
Now, unfortunately, Miguel does not look as gifted as Uncut from the outside. Diba? Parang hindi ganun kaswabe yung outside shot niya. So kahit bitawan siya ni Peña na malayo, okay lang.
Shea Seals. Pick and roll play. And that's traveling laban kay Dorian Peña. One of the few turnovers we've seen here in the first quarter. A well-played first quarter. Talking Tex and San Miguel tied at the moment. In the meantime, patuloy ang ating aksyon and a nice pass inside to Victor Pablo from Pete Michael. At ang Talking Tex, lamang na naman ang dalawa, 16-14. This should be a very close game. Kasi pareho halos naman tabla lang sa kanilang pagdating sa lineup.
Correct. In terms of the weapons on paper, you can see they're pretty well matched up. But Dorian Peña is really proving to be a very big X factor na parang walang katapat sa kabila. Unless Mark Tinan really steps up and has a big game.
Alam mo, he has really learned the art of making space. Pagkakuha niya ng offensive rebound, and of course, the art of flopping. That's his first...
he loves the floor.
That's his first hitting the deck.
His first love.
Alam mo yan, actually, bibilangin. May statistics yan May average yata mga 6
Apat yata. 4 to 6.
4 to 6 a game.
Floor touches a game.
Here's Art Long. Nilabas kay Nick Velasco for 3. Yes! That was a long-distance shot brought to you by PLDT Budget Cards. 24 cents a minute. Ito na ang pinakamababang rate to the US, Hawaii, at Canada. At sabi mo nga, si Nick Velasco just scanned that 3. Like,
Grabe,
he owns it.
45% in this conference.
Grabe.
Amazing.
For a guy who used to play power forward.
Well, of course, we have to acknowledge the fact that the three-point line is shorter.
That was a no fear slam brought to you by No Fear Jeans USA. Face your fears, live your dreams.
Bihirang-bihira yun. Si Art Long makakaagaw, pa makakatapos.
Tatapik ang bola, mula sa kamay ni Honeycutt.
Nice
Pass! Oh, yes.
Wow.
That was another No Fear slam brought to you by No Fear Jeans USA. Face your fears, live your dreams.
Great vision there by Gilbert Dimapin. And you know, for those who are wondering why Patrick Fan is not getting as many minutes, that's the difference. I mean, Patrick Fan is a very good point guard, but he has his own strengths. And ito si Dimapin, he has his own. I mean, he may not be as good as a defender, but he is a good passer, and he likes to run the floor.
So Dimapin is averaging 3 assists per ball game. Also about 5 points and 2 rebounds in 20 minutes of action.
In fact, you remember that this guy raised a lot of eyebrows when Coach Louie last drafted him quite early in the draft last year.
That's right.
What was he? Was he in the first round?
First round.
First
First
round,
round.
diba? 8th, diba?
First round.
So talagang taas kila lahat ng tao eh.
Marami pa kasi pwede piliin doon. Samantala, pumasok mo si Mark Talan with only 38.7 seconds remaining dito sa ating first quarter. Lamang ang San Miguel ang tatlo na ngayon after trailing by as many as 4 points kanina. Here's Dimapin. There's a hand check foul. Laban kay Joey Mente, who is also in the game now.
They have been so consistent with a hand check foul, no? Especially with our FIBA rules. Talagang once, even if your pinky is there, without pressure, it's a foul.
Bakit ganun?
Eh, ganun eh. So as not to impede his motion or iwas chances. I don't know.
Okay, fine. Turn around ni Michael. He gets his own miss. Lumabas siya. Honeycutt sa labas. He will take a long one. Way out there.
Di talaga siya nahiya ngayon. He's continuing to pop them up. In his last game where he had 14 points against Red Bull, he was 0 for 6 from 3-point range. So siguro gigil talaga siyang bawiin yung percentage niya.
Only 6 seconds remaining. Alam ni Shea Seals has been looking up at the clock. Only 3 seconds to go. He takes the long bomb. Yes! That is that is a long distance shot brought to you by PLDT Budget Card at the buzzer. So on San Miguel, after a slow start, coming out strong in the late first quarter, behind the inside plays of Art Long and Dorian Peña and the outside bombing of Shea Seals and Nick Velasco. They erect a 6-point lead here in the first.